collaborative, gamified approach to creating narratives. And I want to thank everybody for joining today. And I'll get started by kind of introducing some of the players and then our guest judges. Lori couldn't be here today, so in her place is Sarah. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself in about 30 words or less?
What sure. I'm Sarah.
Oh, which Sarah? Sarah Castaneda or me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah Castaneda.
Oh, Sarah.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
Sarah we got two. I have to. Sarah C.
Sarah
How's that?
Do you want to do one?
No, I've got a separate slide for her. So.
Oh, okay. I'm Sarah Castaneda. I'm one. I'm a poet and an essayist. I don't really know what to say. I do the Fantastic in Praxis little neighborhood hub on here, and that's what I do. Write poems. I have a book coming out. I'm on my 7th proof. That's the last one. So woo.
So thank you so much, Sarah. Now we got Mark. Mark Geyer, you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Hi, yeah. I'm Mark Geyer. That's my pseudonym. My real name's Dustin Pinney. I spent about 10 years writing freelance under that name, decided to go straight for the fiction, changed it to Mark Geyer. And as it says there on that little bio there, I'm the author of the Nostalgia Mares books from Raventail Publishing. And I have ADHD, and I'm very excited.
Cool. Thank you so much. Mark Doherty, do you want to give us a little update?
Oh, yes. Hi, my name is Mark. I am a poet, author, just published a couple books, 2 since June. I just dropped my 2nd book, Doors of the Heart, last week with the help of Angela as my editor. And I've been on Authortunities now for several months. It's good to be here. It's a great community.
Thank you, Mark. And Nikki.
Of many things, right? I'm Nikki DeCaster. I'm the author of the Bittersweet Empathy series, psychological horror series. And so no direct relation to Bittersweets today, but the names are similar.
Awesome.
And, like 20 years of role-playing experience. So this is sort of similar to that, but slightly different twist on it that I like. I also edit with Phoenix Feather Edits. Developmental editing is kind of my happy place, I guess I would say. And
awesome.
I'm also the founder of 11th House Publishing, which is a neurodivergent publishing company. So many things, and I've been here with Authortunities since the beginning too. So know many of you.
Thank you very much, Nikki. And our first guest judge, Scot Noel. Scott is a Writers of the Future winner. The stories from Algis Bundry's Tomorrow Magazine to Eden Studios zombie anthologies, and in various small press venues. He's written novellas, interaction text with a variety of computer games, as well as being gosh, I should be asking you questions, project manager of game development in the late 90s. And so right now he's working with his wife, Jane, on their digital marketing agency, Chroma Studios. And when you have any spare time, you produce an awesome magazine called DreamForge, now in its 6th year. Anything else you want to share, Scott?
I appreciate the great introduction. The image of DreamForge you see on the screen, that's our latest issue. It just came out this week. It's available on Amazon, or if you go to dreamforgemagazine.com, the stories are all free online. You just get to see a wonderful, fully illustrated color magazine if you buy the copy. So,
well, thank you for that service to the community. It's an awesome magazine. And our next guest judge is Sarah Walker, a Pacific Northwest anthropologist, a writer, an artist, head art director, and co-editor of Weird Fiction Quarterly, a flash fiction magazine created and edited by her and others here, Russell Shane, Scott, and Chris, and you've been publishing in many. You've been published in many venues, from Vasterian to Lovecraft Ezine, and active member of the Horror Writers Association, and also you do illustrations, and you write and curate books like A Walk in the Dark Wood, along with its sequel, A Walk in the City of Shadows, with Gordon White and Dwayne Precise, and Jane Hand, Nora Peavy, and Philip Breach. Do you want to say anything else, Sarah? Share something else?
Yeah. So this cover here, I love this. This is actually from a painting. So just that, and I did not do that one, but yeah, I'm really honored to be here. This looks like a really cool game, and I really love the idea of having like collaborative storytelling. I use it in teaching all the time, so I think we need more of it. We need more play in our lives.
Absolutely. We need to have more fun in our life, that's for sure. So thank you very much. Big round of applause for everybody who our judges. I want to kind of set the stage for everybody. Everybody can download the Story Starter. This Story Starter has a synopsis, just like if you were going to turn on a TV or you're looking through your guide to see what's going on. It's got a little bit of a background about the characters and some settings to make this really interesting. So please download that. We have our 4 volunteers. They each have a card. Instead of physically handing out cards around a table, which is a lot of fun, they each have their own unique cards that they're going to be picking from that have characters, they have activities, and they also have settings that they're going to pick these to help create an impromptu narrative. And then they all share a common plot structure, which is going to be a psychological horror set against this dark speculative fiction. Let's dive right into that Story Starter a little bit. This was authored by our very own Angela Yuriko Smith, Bittersweet's Revenge. Emphasis on revenge there. And its premise, it's set in the year 3024 at the Bittersweets, which is a recreational place to experience death and then resurrection. And the opening scenes are going to start in the bar where their patrons are gathering to feel alive prior to going to death. So that sounds like a pretty interesting scenario right there for sure. So there's 6 different characters. They can pick the same character if they want to keep expanding on that. That's a really interesting strategy. Or they can pick different characters and they can change around. There's no set rules on you have to stick with one particular character. Just share that point of view. And then the setting, again, will start off in this really fascinating bar scene with the neon lights and different sounds that are inspiring people to have perhaps an adult beverage. So I'm going to kind of give you an example. This will help the judges who may never have seen this, and anyone who hasn't played this game before. I'm going to give you an example of how they are going to pick 3 cards for each scene. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I decided to pick Fred, who's the newcomer to Bittersweets, and develop him with an opening scene that would go something like this. Fred was anxious as he walked into Bittersweet's bar and was 2 hours early. And so the attendant at Bittersweet suggested that he have his favorite drink and relax before going to his chosen room, the food pleasure room. This was something, there was something about knowing this experience he was thinking that makes this, you really feel alive if you know you're going to die. The hotel's bar was exceptionally busy tonight, and with this new method of dying through food just being introduced last week. So many, like Fred, wanted to experience this death of hedonic eating, hoping it would help them cure maybe some ability to stop eating food as much. Well, the bar's neon lights are pulsing to this binaural beat compilation, playing softly in the background. Fred finds it stimulating, but also a bit mind-numbing at the same time. So Fred decides to sit in the bar next to a very attractive blonde in her 40s. Hi, I'm Fred. Can I buy you a drink? Sure, I'm Dawn. You're new here, aren't you? Is it that obvious? Not really. I'm a level 5 clairvoyant, that's all. There was a long pause. You know, Fred, small town isn't that bad of a place. You'll soon fit in, Fred. Hey, wait a minute. Before you go any further, Dawn, I think I'd prefer to get to know you the old-fashioned way with non-empathic abilities, okay? So he smiles at the bartender, Misha. So they took their orders, and Fred ordered a single malt scotch, and Dawn ordered a new Chicago teardrop. Hey, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable, Fred. I'm just here to help newcomers and make them feel comfortable with their virgin experience. He stands back a little bit. He looked up her with his eyes, and he really became a bit captivated by her, and wondered if she'd be in the same room as him that night. So that's my scene. I delivered that in less than 4 minutes. And as you can see, the cards really didn't dictate what I said. Rather, they just offered some mentoring advice. So I used the advice of the cards to present my story. And they provide sort of a structure for characters, plot, and settings to help you practice and refine your scene creation skills. Now, each person will in turn select a character, an activity, and a setting card from their sheet, and then they'll create a scene just like I did, and then the next player, and so on, sharing the story's overall plot and building on the previous character's plot line. That's important. So maybe an example would be, maybe the next person would pick Dawn, or maybe another person sit down next to Fred and want to ask him what he's doing. So I just want to emphasize, though, while each player should build on the previous player's story, every player is a co-author equal in this story and should take it any direction that they want to. Feel free to during your turn, and provided this story follows the advice of the cards and you practice your scene skills. So are there any questions about how I did that, or how I use the cards?
So I have a question. Are we building off the story that you started?
That's what, not what I started, but what you started. This is Sarah C.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah. So you're going to kick off the whole story set in the bar, and then they're going to build off of that story. They can diverge a little bit, but it's going to start from your character that you pick.
Okay,
Great
I just
question.
didn't know if we were going from what you just told. If we were...
No, that was just an example. That was just an
okay.
example.
I didn't know if we were building from that, or okay, I see.
No, I don't
Okay.
want to be. I don't want to. I just wanted to give you an idea of how it might work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Any other-
deplete what all you had done or something. And
No.
Okay.
Any other questions about how I use those 3 cards to create a scene? So some advice is, hey, make your characters relatable. Your plot should spotlight the point of view that you're talking about, and use the sensory stuff if you can to bring your story world to life. Now in the game, you would normally have cards in your hand, but to simplify things here, each player is going to have 8 cards, 3 character cards, which are these pink cards here. I'll get my little highlighter here so we can see those. These are the character cards, these pink cards. These activity cards, they're going to have 3 of those, and then 2 setting cards, and then they'll have a that they're going to pick each scene, pick one at a time. They'll have those 3, and then they'll have a I'll get my eraser here. I got a little over ambitious with drawing. Then they'll look at this plot structure card. So the plot structure card helps the whole story build in the same direction, right? If one person was going to do a murder, another person was going to do a romance, it would be a really wacky story and may not make too much sense. So the idea is, as a team, your objective is to try to get through not all of these, because we're not going to play, for a full hour, just about 35 minutes. Try to get through the first 3 or 4 plot structure phases, if you would, for a psychological horror. Okay, any questions about how you'll use your cards?
I'm going to say Nikki has an advantage because she actually has the cards. She has like physical cards in her hand, so I'm very jealous.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let me explain a little bit about the mechanics one more time. This is showing three contestants playing. Let's start with attendee 1. She would pick 3 cards from the thing and let us know which 3 she picks so the judges can see those. And then she'll tell her narrative. She'll 4 minutes to do that. Then attendee 2 will go along, pick 3. And then they'll tell their narrative, and so on. It'll go then to the third player. They'll pick 3. And we'll each have 4 minutes per scene to, tell their story, and then, and then keep on going. And so each person, we've got 4 players, will have an 8-scene story. Round 1 will be the first 4 play, and then round 2 will be the last 4. Any questions about the mechanics? Okay, very good. All right, so I'll just show this real quickly from the Authortunities people here. These are some ideas that could help you in creating scenes. Some of my favorite are the start early, leave late, begin your scenes right in the middle of action, and then maybe some foreshadowing at the end, right? That could lead you to anticipate things. I'm not going to read through all of these, but these are some ideas. And then just ask, has everybody had a chance to read your story starter? And does all the players have your sheets?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. I'm going to get my timer here set up, because we're going to get ready and start. And then I'll talk about how the judges next are going to do their part. So the players will have 40 minutes to select a character. We'll give you a few minutes to think about what character you want. You may want to wait until you hear somebody before you, for example. First player is going to pick a character, activity, and card and start their turn, just like I showed you. And then as each player acts as a co-author, contributing to the previous plot, adding more depth to the story. And then you're going to create that 8-scene story with each player creating 2 scenes, going 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be round 1, and then round 2 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8, if you would. And then use that plot structure card to guide the story's progress. Any questions on that for the players?
Yeah.
All right. And now our judges, they're going to, they have access to a score sheet. They're going to, I'll be announcing the round, like round 1 and 2, the player's name in order 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll say, each player will say which cards they selected. You'll be able to see those. And then you can award points based on 3 categories. How well they use the card topics, is that number 3, and they'll score from 0 to 3 points. How well are they collaborating? Are they expanding on the other players' plots and incorporating their own characters or bringing in some interest? And then number 3 is creativity and engagement. How engaging is that a narrative? Are their characters relatable, and that sort of thing? And then, so I showed you a little bit about how that was done. Judges, do you have any question about your score sheet? Are you guys good on that?
Yep, all looks good.
Okay, good, awesome. And then they'll, at the end of the thing, they're going to provide some feedback and rank the participants, and then we got some exciting prizes that we're going to be giving out. All right. So with no further to do here, I'm going to. Can you see the timer as well? I want to make sure that you can see the timer.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarah C., you're going to be kicking us off. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah. How much time do we have per person?
You're going to have 4 minutes. I can get rid of
I got it. I see. Yeah.
So this right here.
Mhm.
So when I'm going to go ahead and say begin, and you've got 4 minutes to pick your 3 cards, and then and I'll mark them, and then tell us your narrative. So begin. Which 3 cards would you like to pick?
Okay. I'm gonna pick. Well, I'm gonna pick the character of Tammy. The everyday struggles, the
Okay.
car, and the helping another character.
Helping another character. Awesome. Very good. So those are the 3 cards, judges. They picked. This is Sarah, round 1. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, so Tammy has come to the Bittersweet Hotel, and it seems that everyone is hanging out in the bar area. She's a little nervous to go in. She's incredibly shy. Also, and she doesn't know anybody there. Also, she came here because her favorite niece went here and she disappeared before. So she wanted to go there and see what it was about. But she goes in, the neon lights are pulsing, and she also has epilepsy. So this light flickering really is she's nervous. She doesn't want to have a seizure. So she's looking in her purse. She's trying to concentrate on certain things, but she also really wants to talk to people. And she's shy, and she's trying to find someone who looks stable, who seems approachable. And so she orders a glass of sparkling water to take her epilepsy pill with, and she notices a man at the end of the bar who's been asking for a drink several times, but it's being ignored. And she tells the bartender, who turns out to be Misha, that she can go ahead and get his drink first because she came in after him, and he tells her thank you. And so she thinks that he seems like a nice person. So she kind of goes towards him, and she asks him his name, and he says his name is Benito. And they start talking, and she finds out that he's been here before, for several times before, and he's sort of weary. He's a little morbid. She's kind of put off by some of his jokes about people who have disappeared and stuff like that, because she does, her favorite niece disappeared here. But she finds him intriguing, and she also finds him steadying, because he's not really animated, which she needs that type of person, because she needs to keep her mind straight with all the flickering lights. And she's also shy, which she's trying to overcome so she can ingratiate herself within this group. And so she thinks maybe he'll know something about maybe her niece, and she can explain what goes on. And Benito can help her explain, but he's sort of a tough nut to crack because he's a pessimist. And then Dawn comes over, and she's really loud, and she kind of interrupts them.
Okay, so that's where you left off.
Mhm.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. So that was your first scene. Thank you very much, Sarah. And we're going to go now to Mark Guy. Let me move it to you. Now this is your set of 3 cards. Are you ready to begin, Mark?
I just have
Guy?
a quick question. When it says any settings, that means of all the settings we were sent, I can pick that, right?
Yeah. Now I would suggest your first round is you stay in the hotel bar. You don't have to, because that's building on a character. But yeah, that could, hey, I want to go to the lobby or somewhere else. Yeah, absolutely.
If I could
You're
make
gonna
a
get
quick interruption, Sarah, looks like you're using my judging sheet instead of your tab.
Yeah, there's 2 tabs, Sarah, one at the bottom, so you can pick that one. No problem. Thank you, Scott, for letting.
Good judging. By the way, good judging, Sarah. I like those scores.
All right. Awesome. Okay, Mark, are you ready?
One other question. So,
Sure.
and also a character I can choose. Does it have to be one that Sarah has already
No,
introduced?
it doesn't have to be. No, you've got full reign. You are the author of the story. So.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start it. Which 3 cards would you like to pick?
I'm gonna go with
Or 3 cards, yeah.
an uncontrollable emotional event.
Okay, got it.
The character's internal conflicts.
Okay.
And if it's okay, I'd like to set it at the diner.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
All
All
right.
right. So it's the diner. The diner it is. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I should tell you the character, right?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Sorry. Okay. Shiloh was the character I was thinking.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So it's afternoon, maybe late afternoon. Shiloh is in the bathroom of the diner. It's a diner bathroom. It's nothing to write home about. It's not the worst he's been in. It's not the best. He's leaning over the sink and he's shaking. His chest is starting to contract. It's like bands around him, or his skeleton is revolting against him, trying to crush his lungs to get to his heart because of someone he just saw in the diner. He splashes water on his face. It works sometimes when resuscitations go bad, but this time it's not doing the trick. He washes his hands. He gives himself a look in the mirror. He looks old to himself. He thinks, I think I've wasted my time. I wanted to help people. That's why I entered the medical field. That's why I applied to move from the hospital to a resuscitation. And I just get reminding of how I keep screwing things up. And he starts to turn to leave, and briefly in the mirror, he's not sure, but out of the corner of his eye, he thinks he sees this young woman who he lost when trying to resuscitate them, or that's what he believes. He leaves the bathroom and he sees the waitress, Millie, who had served him. She's there all the time. She likes to put in extra hours, get a little extra money. And he asks, Millie, there was a woman who just left a few minutes ago. What do you know about her? And she's like, I don't know much. I think she said her name was Tammy, and she was asked if I knew anything about the bittersweets. And he goes, did she say why? And she's like, well, maybe. He pulls out some money, hands it to her, and says, she says she's trying to find some information about her niece. And he says, well, I got to go. And he gets in the car and starts driving off, goes to work at the bittersweets. And he's thinking, I can't go in there. If I go in there, I'm going to be reminded of everything that happened. I'm not going to be able to control myself. Maybe I'll get a drink first. So he goes in, walks into the bar, He's on sturdier legs now, seeing Misha and everything. He sits down. Misha gives him a drink. He doesn't even need to order it. His hands are shaking, but the smell of the alcohol sort of soothes him a little bit. He takes a shot, and then he's looking around the bar, and he sees the woman who is looking for her niece or information on her niece. The woman he's pretty sure he saw a picture of in that girl's belongings who he lost.
Oh, awesome. I love it. Cliffhanger right there. Thank you so much, Mark. That was very good.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Now we move to the other Mark. Mark, number 2. Mark G. I have to call you Mark G. And Mark. Yeah. So, Mark, do you have any questions? Are you ready?
No. It's this. This is great. It's nerve-wracking, but it gets you thinking. And you guys before me did a great job. It's always tough going first. So I am.
Are you ready? I'm going to go ahead and begin your time.
Yes.
And then you get to pick 3 cards. So I've begun. Which cards would you like?
Okay. I'm going to pick Shiloh as a main focus character, and going to. Can I pick 2 settings? Like in his mind, he's in a different place, and he's actually sitting in the.
You can do that, but you need to tell me which one's the primary, and I'll check it. So you don't use it over again.
It's Shiloh, and he's in the bathroom in the hotel bar, but his mind is in the graveyard, and I'll explain.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Next
then
card.
forming a friendship. Okay.
Forming a friendship.
He's breaking out in a sweat.
And before you get going, which character card did you want to pick?
Oh, I'm sorry, character card. The character's backstory.
Okay, go for it. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. That's fine. So Shiloh is he's in the bathroom, and he's breaking out in a cold sweat, and he's trembling, and he's he saw Tammy in the bar, and he recognizes her because he had a conversation with her in the graveyard, because Shiloh likes to go walk around the graveyard, and he was actually kneeling down, trembling, and talking to himself in front of Moki's headstone. And Tammy noticed and she's trying to gather some information because of Moki's death. So she gets into talking with Shiloh, and Shiloh explains where he works, and she's trying to put the pieces together. So they ended up going to the bar and having a few drinks, and Tammy is more than happy to buy several rounds of bourbon, and Shiloh likes to have Kentucky bourbon with a cherry in it, and that cherry, maraschino cherry, symbolizes the sweetness of Moki. Moki is a sweet rice cake, so it's kind of like a little tribute to Moki, the girl that he lost. And Shiloh's backstory, it's interesting. He's a bit of a clairvoyant, and he knows and he recognizes this skill, and people are a little bit afraid of him because he has all this energy and all this power, and he can't handle it. So that's why he decides to medicate himself with pharmaceuticals and drinking, because he recognizes he has all this power. So he covers up his pain with, as a lot of people do, with drugs and alcohol. He got to know Moki a bit before she passed, and Moki was known for her extremes and everything. She was an adrenaline junkie, including risque relationships. She liked to base jump, and her ex-husband first, started out as boyfriend. They were practitioners of breathe play, which is also known
Okay.
Okay.
You're very good. Practitioners of brief play. Interesting.
Yes, okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. That was great. All right. And now we go on to Nikki. Do you have any questions, Nikki, before we get started?
Nope, I think I got it pretty well down.
All right. Okay, I'm going to hit your timer to start. You got 4 minutes. Which 3 cards would you like?
Okay, I will take characters' internal conflicts at the hotel bar.
Okay.
And a romantic relationship.
Oh, you know what? I've got the wrong card set here. Go ahead and begin, and I will fix that because for some reason I've got the wrong card set here. I'm going to stop your timer because this is my fault, not yours.
I can pick off of this one too, but
no, I want to fix that. That won't take me long. I don't know what happened, but I apologize for that. Let's see. Okay.
actually, can I do actions speak loudly instead? That's my card.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's your card. Yeah. Hold on. Let me I'll bring that up real quick, and then we will get started. Sorry about that, everybody. The saying you should measure twice and then cut once. So let's open that.
Yeah, I'm going to pipe in. I'll be like the entertainment while we're in intermission. These are great. You guys are doing such a cool job. So I'm kind of like, okay, what is happening, and how is what's going on at the diner going to merge now? And so this is fabulous.
Yeah, it's a great story. Okay, just 1 more minute, and I think I'll be ready to get this started. Edit. All right, and how quickly can I do things? That's my challenge. So this is for you. Control V.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, did I get the wrong one? I can't believe I did that. Any setting? Oh, I got the wrong one. Sorry about that. No, how did I do that? Okay.
You see my witch hat, Mark? Did you see this? I actually have a witch hat.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's very goofy.
Okay, there we go.
I have my pith hat from my friend when I graduated with my archaeology.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
All right, there we go. I'm sorry about that. All right. So, whoops. Where'd that go? Okay. All right. So, Nikki, are you ready now?
Yes.
All right. All right. Apologize for the delay. Go ahead. Which 3 cards would you like to pick?
We'll do actions speak loudly.
Okay.
In the hotel bar.
All right. Hotel bar. Right.
And then with a relationship.
Okay, right there. Thank you. See if I can get rid of that. Oh, you know what? That was part of my screen capture. So sorry about that. All right, go ahead.
Right. Benito sat at the bar. Benito stirred his drink. I don't know if anything can help me. The woman next to him had been trying to sell him something, some uplifting aphrodisiac or another. He tried them all. He was barely paying attention. This spot in the bar was really his second home. His first home was the Bittersweets themselves. Benito was a trust fund kid, so he had unlimited access to death whenever he wanted. And once he did, it was a junkie thing. He had chased every kind of death in this place, come up with a few himself. And nothing seemed to fill the hole in him. And now his drink was watery. And this woman wanted to give him some ashwagandha or something or another. The bartender, Nisha, she knew better than to refill his drinks. But this woman seemed to, she was trying to be nice. And she was sniffing around, asking about her Moki. Oh, Moki. And Moki's lust for life and death was unmatched. Like, he couldn't even keep up with her. They did everything together. Oh, and I mean everything. Every kind of death and living that you could imagine. But none of it was ever quite enough. And so, well, they had to push the envelope a little bit. Now, this time around, though, he might have gone too far. Like, it's just a matter of time before you are pushing death on the other end. Want to see what it's like to be the one causing it instead of having it done to you. And Nisha, well, she wanted to work without a net. So, but he knew that what this had done to Shiloh, it wasn't his fault, of course. The man was brilliant. But no, it's Benito and Moki, and it had nothing to do with him. And Misha looked down at him from the other end of the bar, judging the bitch knew. He suspected she knew something. Yeah, sure, I'll take some of that. He turned to Tammy, just to shut her up.
Okay, there's your 4 minutes. Thank you so much. Ooh.
Oh God.
That's good. All right. Thank you. Now we're going to go back to our player number 1, Sarah C. All right. Hold on here. There we go. All right. Sarah, I lost your first 3 selections by accident, but which 3 would you like to use now?
Okay. So this is really hard.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Let's see. Okay, so I'll do. I don't know. Okay, I'll do. I stick with my character, right? Don't I stick with my character?
Yeah. So pick a character card, an activity, and then a setting.
Well, do I stick with my character I picked in the first round?
You can do whatever you want. You can change.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go back to Tammy. So Tammy and her.
Which three cards are you going to pick from your sheet
Okay.
here?
So the character's external conflict.
Okay.
Characters searching for identity size or place where they belong. Describe our haze and avoiding another character. Avoiding someone.
Okay.
And the library.
Oh, okay. You're going to go to the library. Okay. All right. Go for it. Please begin.
I don't even
Got
know.
3 minutes.
Okay. So Tammy needs to leave the bar because all of this talk is going on, and she thinks that she can find some real answers in the library she's heard about, because she's heard about this is the refuge for the forgotten. She heard Benito was kind of drunkenly talking about something about it with Misha. He was in this really weird drunk state. And so she's going to the library. Shiloh goes to intervene. Does not want her to go to the library. He's scared for her to go to the library. She wants to get to the library, but he's holding her back. And she doesn't understand why he's holding her back. She doesn't understand this forcefulness. And she said, I am not afraid to find out what is in the library. Because I think that Moki is forgotten. I think that something has happened to Moki. And I will do this and get out of my way. I'm done playing these games now. I need to know the answer for myself and for my family. Shiloh is so scared because he knows something deeper. And Benito knows it. And Misha knows it. And she can't find the answers anymore. And someone needs to help her. And now she's taking a stand. And these 3 people are stopping her. And she doesn't understand why someone won't talk. And she's also really freaked out that she's building up. She only has so much time because she's feeling weak. She feels like she could have a seizure. All of this stress. Her world is spinning, and she needs to understand what's happening. So she wants to avoid these people to get to the books, to find out what has happened to the forgotten books or bodies or any other residents in these book stacks. She needs to find out answers. If that makes any sense. And that's all I can come up with right now.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. All right. Mark Guy, are you ready?
I will be. I guess so.
All right. Go ahead and begin. Which 3 cards would you like?
So the setting, I'll just go ahead and keep the hotel bar.
Okay.
For let's see, about a shocking plot twist.
Ooh. Okay. Sweet. All right.
And secrets, or is it secrets or unwanted information? Is that it?
Unrevealed information.
Unrevealed information. And the character I'll pick is, sorry. Well, I don't have her card here, but Dawn. She's the con artist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So earlier in the day, some people started gathering in the hotel bar. Dawn was already there. She likes to get there a bit early. She chats a bit with the bartender, Misha, gets some information from her. Not much, obviously. Misha doesn't like to share a lot. She certainly doesn't like to share a lot from Dawn. So she goes in. She's watching some people. Benito comes in, of course. She's done trying to offer him more stuff because he's so far beyond the pale. Nothing works on him anyway. And before she comes in, shortly after that, this woman comes in. It's Tammy. Now, she finds Tammy very intriguing because she looks like she's determined for something, but also a little lost. And that's the perfect middle ground for getting people to shell out money for things. To her dismay, Benito gets her attention first. So she can't quite barge in on that because Benito will call her out. But what she does instead is just decides to sit back and observe. And as she does so, Shiloh comes in and he sees someone and runs to the bathroom. And she says, "Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if he was reacting to Benito because they've been having this feud for a while because of that girl." And so on and so forth. She continues to watch. Everybody gets up. They go to leave because Tammy needs to go search the library. Shiloh doesn't want her to and all that. And Dawn finally decides, well, there's no new prospects here anymore. Why don't I go have a seat at the bar again? She has a chat with Misha. And she says to Misha, she's like, not all of my products are garbage. Not all of them lie. She says, okay, what's that mean? Well, for years, I had this elixir, we'll call it. I won't tell you where I get it, but I got an elixir. And it has a way of making you see the world a little differently, which could improve your mood. It could make things worse for you. But one thing people tend to use it for is to alter their memories. And I have proof that it works because I sat here and I watched this whole thing and not a single one of those people came up to me and said, "What did you do to me when you gave me that drink that made me forget the terrible thing that happened to Miko? And it was the worst night of my life." And she's like, "You think they'll ever remember? You think maybe if they do, they'll come looking for me?" And Misha says, "I don't know. I don't care. Get out of my bar." Dawn nods, says, "Okay, it'll be fun to see how this plays out."
Oh, very good. Cliffhanger there. All right. Now on to the other Mark. Are you ready? Mark G, are you ready? Mark G.
Yes.
Okay. All
Can you
right.
hear
Now
me?
we hear you. Now we do.
Okay, sorry. I was muted.
All right.
I'm going to go with Misha and character's backstory. And I'm going to stick with the hotel bar.
Gotcha.
Which is the bartender. And they're still forming a friendship, so I'm going to stick with that. So here we go. So Misha, being the bartender, she hears and sees a lot more than people realize. And so she's heard it all from every character, every employee at Bittersweets. So she knows her personalities and her struggles. So she wants to make friends with Tammy. She understands. She has empathy for Tammy because Tammy has lost her dear niece, Moki, and she wants to help her find some justice on what happened. So she tells Tammy that makes her aware that Moki had a past relationship with Fred, the newcomer. And Fred was a base jumping guide before he came on to Bittersweets. And that's how Moki and Fred became acquainted, because she was a bit of an adrenaline junkie. And Moki also had a husband or boyfriend. His name was Laszlo, and Laszlo was very jealous. He was an adrenaline junkie, and he ended up killing himself. He jumped off one of the cliffs in Brazil that Fred was working at, and where he met Moki, and he jumped off the cliff without a parachute. Fred couldn't take any more of that, so he left Brazil, and he ended up at the Bittersweets. So it seems like there's something going on, like maybe it seemed like there was a past relationship between Fred and Moki, and Misha wanted to just shed some light on it with Tammy and try to help her find some justice. Yeah, that's about all I have right now.
All right. Thank you so much. And our last scene 8, we're going to Nikki. Are you ready, Nikki? I'll restart your time. And I apologize. This one says feeling guilty here, and then the relationship. That was part of my mess up earlier. Let me know when you're ready to begin, Nikki.
Okay, so I'll take the character's internal conflicts for 500, Alex.
Yeah, you have it. Internal conflicts. What else?
Internal conflicts, the graveyard.
The graveyard. Okay, sweet.
And guilty feelings.
Guilty feelings. I got you. Go for it.
Okay. Benito stumbled from his chair in the hotel bar, walked around to the side, grabbed a bottle of, I don't know what the hell, something. Who cares? And he stumbled out into Smalltown. Beauty of the small town is that you could easily get anywhere on foot, which was good because Benito did not have a license. They took that a long time ago. Let's not to think about that. So he makes his way up the little hill, through the gates, into the cemetery, to Moki's headstone. Of course, it was grand. He'd seen to that. You got to do these things in style. He stumbled down, fell on top of it, and started to weep. Across the street, he saw Tammy and Shiloh fighting. And she didn't want her to go into the library for some reason. And Tammy was looking for Moki. He knew. Moki told him all about her. Ad nauseum. She's the last person Moki would have wanted to see. In fact, well, she might have wanted to see her die horribly in this place, to be fair. So Benito sits there and he watches the small town unfold, everybody going about their days. He could have sworn he could hear Moki speaking to him right now. There's that scratching, pounding. Who's doing work at this time of day? This town shuts down at 5 o'clock. And there was that stuff that Dawn gave to everybody. He knew there was something actually more to it. And sometimes he would get flashes of something he was supposed to remember from that night. But he couldn't quite grasp it. And he just knew he loved Moki. And all the deaths that he had. Like, you can die many times in this place. but only love can keep you alive to feel
Mm.
the weight of it. And he reveled in that misery that only Loki could bring him. And as he did, the scene transitions down underneath to where Loki claws at the inside of her coffin. Forgotten. All the people who were supposed to come resuscitate her and see to her. So now she would experience an actual death.
Woo!
Oh, she's buried alive. Okay.
Good.
That's a really big time. Woohoo.
Yeah, that's some raw skill right there. You can tell
All
who the
right.
horror writers are.
Oh wow, I'm enjoying this. So I just wanted to get some comments from just any Angela. This was what's your any comments you want to give?
This is so cool. I actually want to go with what's going on here and continue this. Like, we're all co-writing this story now. This is
Very
awesome.
good. Yeah. So cool. Hey, any comments from the judges? Scott.
I want to watch the show. When does is it on Netflix?
Very good.
Very good, everybody. Very, very good job.
I will second Scott's comment there. Hey, Netflix, you can have
exactly.
It's okay.
I used to work at ABC. I'll call them and see if I have any old contacts there.
There you go. Sarah, did you have any comments?
Yeah, you guys are all very, very wonderful storytellers. And what I really liked about this is that because there was 3 different people telling the story, or actually, sorry, four. Wait, I was right. Oh no, 4. Okay, sorry, my brain's not working. I keep. It's because it said Angela. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, what I really like is that each time each of you had your the section that you were doing, it was like we got a different point of view of the characters, and I really like that because it adds like layers of complexity and interest for the listener that you might not normally get. Because if you get stuck in kind of one voice, it can, if you don't like that voice, it changes very quickly.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have all the different characters and you guys are using them all together. It's just a very cool idea. I really like this.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be totaling the scores here. So some unashamed promotion here then, if I can do that real quick.
It was hard to judge.
I know. I can see the scores are very close. So if you liked what you did today, I will guarantee you it's about 10 times more fun if you actually play it in real life. You can play it for free. You don't have to pay any money. You can play it for free online through Tabletopia at this link. And there's actually a 1-player solo mode for Bittersweets. So you can take this any way you want and use it in your own creative methods to do it. You can invite your friends and play online. And then if you really like the game, you can buy a copy. It's on print on demand through the Game Crafter. So Angela, could you share some details that you would like other people to know while I do the tallying of the scores?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know how we're going to do awards because everybody here, this was awesome. So we may have to like stretch those awards out and like multiply them. But this story you guys are putting together, you're going to get, oh, there's my dogs right on cue. You guys are going to get this written down. We're going to do a transcript of this. But I honestly would love to see the 4 of you collaborate more with what you're doing on this story and see where this goes, because I don't feel like I can let this go in my head. This is like seeing a wonderful story start, but then I'm kind of like, okay, we left that on quite a cliffhanger. Thanks, Nikki. So I would love to see you guys go further. But we do want to publish this in Space and Time magazine. So it's up to you guys, as all 4 of you are the authors of it. It's up to you guys if you want to collaborate on that and develop it more, or if you want to, after you get the transcript back, if you want to leave it like that. I know you all know each other, so that should be easy to figure out, but I'm super excited to see where this goes. This has been like really fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So I would ask that I'm highlighting in the 2 judges. You can see your score sheets. I'm highlighting the 2 people who have a tied score. Can you, between the 2 of you, decide which one that you would pick over the other, which is really hard. So we actually have a literally tied score between 2 of the players. Yeah, on Scot Noel's, let me do it this way. I'll do it this way. So,
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, I should pipe in that with your permission, it will be published in Space and Time. We can't just grab it and publish it.
Oh,
yeah.
you have my permission on my end.
I'm actually not seeing who's tied, Stefan. When I look,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, that's not a problem. Look, if you look now, they're highlighted in
I
yellow.
can see it. I don't know why. I guess it's just maybe my internet's slow, and that does not surprise me because I had that problem throughout the whole thing between these. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. What you could do is just put a little note next to their name, which one you vote for, and then I'll.
I'm literally flipping a coin.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was actually, because I can't see the scoring sheets, but I was actually thinking, what if you both like the same one? Then you're still tied.
I know.
Need 3 judges.
That's why you normally would like to have 3 judges, but we'll have to think about that later.
Well, then Angela can flip the coin, or maybe the rock wall storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just picked one. Can you see that can you see that I picked?
I did also. Can you see? I did it in the right hand column. Right?
Yeah, that's what I did it in contestant.
Okay. So right there, and then that's Sarah, and then oh wow, we have a split tie again.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Can both be winners?
Well, maybe we should have 2 winners.
Yeah, we should have 2 winners.
Yeah, let's have 2 winners. So the 2 first place winners are Mark Geyer and Nikki DeCuster. Thank you.
Listen, but that you know, Sarah and Mark, you guys, your story is really, really good, and I feel like both of you, like specifically Sarah, I feel like you just kind of did this running, and I am really impressed, especially with your intro. It was killer. It was very, very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I also love Mark's complexity about Misha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, for sure, each one of you are going to get a free copy of the Smalltown Tales. So I'll be collecting your address, and you'll get a physical copy of the game, with all the cards, and you can play it any way you want. And then Angela, you had arranged the other thing is you're all going to be a published author if you agree to it in Space and Time.
Yay.
And I think we had a money prize. We'll have to split that in 2 then, right?
Oh yeah, I guess we could split it in 2. I was thinking just award it, just double it. We could double it.
All right, that's your decision.
I think, and it was going to be an Amazon gift card, if that's okay, as the award. So I mean, we all love Amazon. Bow down to the. Okay, I won't go there.
Can I pay for runner-up prizes for both Sarah and Mark? Because I really feel like being added.
That's sweet.
I'm serious. I hope you guys collaborate on this. I really do. This is a really cool story.
I'd love to.
There. That's sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
and that was actually thinking we need to have runner-up prizes because normally I think this will be one team that wins, right, Stephen, in the future. But we only had one team because this was the first one ever, and I think everybody's terrified. But now that they can watch this and go,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
this is really fun and not that scary. And look, Sarah just jumped in there like
Yeah.
no warm up, just okay, we're going with this. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that is our wrap up for the event. I want to thank everybody for participating. I've got goosebumps at the end where she's clawing in the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
yeah, what a cliffhanger.
What a
And
great
I love Mark's
exercise.
description of Misha. Like that was a very real character. Like as soon as you started describing her, I could see her. I could see her behavior. I could,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was very well done.
Yeah.
definitely a potential for weird fiction and DreamForce publication in the future.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, I don't have anything else to say other than I'm very thankful that you all enjoyed it, had a good time, and we'll see you on the dark side of dark speculation in the future. Then,
Good work,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you.
all right, thank
Bye.
you.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Bye.
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 Mhm.
Yeah, Angela, how might I do that? Can I just send you some money or something?
Yeah, well, that's what I had actually